All right, great guys. Thanks for getting it in while it's late. There's people just like me that can't sleep. So I want to thank you guys for joining me. It's Attorney Solomon Gilliam. Call me Saul. Call me. Just call me. How about that? But yeah, my goal is really to connect with my viewers. I want to connect with people where they're at. I know people are working different schedules. What I want to do now is give everyone an opportunity to really understand a little deeper what makes a real consultation. What is the difference between a consultation that you're going to get anywhere and everywhere, and what are the three main consultations you can expect to receive, generally speaking, with any lawyer? Let's just jump right into it. The first type of consultation you're really going to see in the industry is the standard free consultation. What the lawyers are going to do for you is really kind of fish around. They're going to fish and they're going to ask you questions and they're going to kind of look at their watch. Their goal is to get as much detail in a short amount of time and sort of identify whether or not you qualify for any particular form of relief. Attorneys are looking to see if they can spot a case. And typically, once they determine that they can take your case, quote unquote, they're going to make you an offer. You should always look for the same thing, though. In a free consultation, try to get your questions answered. There's nothing wrong per se with getting a free consultation. But what you're going to do is you're typically going to be pigeonholed into answering a lot of questions. What we've seen in practice is a lot of attorneys sort of just maybe cutting you off. They just want to gather these information pieces, gather what they feel they're looking for. It's not necessarily an opportunity for you to feel like you're going to necessarily tell your story. That's for sure. The free consultation you can typically expect is going to give you perhaps limited perspective on how that law firm works, how they're going to take your case into consideration um, compared to a lot of different cases. And I think it's just very important for people to be conscientious, be aware of um, what you're going to get yourself involved in may or may not work out because the more serious deal, what we're looking for here is to kind of give you some awareness, some heads up. When you see that you're paying for a consultation with a firm, you want to clarify number one, who will you be meeting with? And that's not just to say, oh, am I meeting with a lawyer? Am I meeting with an assistant? What you really also want to do is dig as deep as you can within reason, determine whether or not it's an attorney, and then from there, are we speaking with a junior staff member or a staff lawyer? Are we speaking with the top dog? For example, if you sign up for a consultation with Gilliam Law, you'll be speaking directly with me, Solly G. So that's always refreshing whenever you find out you're going to be speaking with the man, the myth, the legend, so to speak. And I say that jokingly, but the big difference here is you're speaking with someone at Gilliam Law like myself, who's actually in the trenches working on cases, talking to judges, talking to clerks, meeting with assistant chief counsels for the Department of Homeland Security. And so this is the tremendous sort of wealth of knowledge based on my experience that you're going to get. And you want to know. That's why you want to ask questions. And if they say you're meeting with a legal assistant, then you really got to just ask yourself twice instead of asking for the name or the experience of the legal assistant. You really want to position it like, well, what do I have to gain from meeting with an assistant who's not able to practice law? That's really sort of where my inquiry would stop. And I would pause and probably pause again and say, well, I think I'm going to keep looking. So that's that. You really just have to kind of make your choices based on the gravity of your situation. The seriousness of your case is what should control your decision making. So I know it's late and it's almost early for some people, but that's just where I'm at. A lot of people could just be waking up right now. A lot of folks could be just anywhere, maybe even just looking right now on the internet, searching, well, what is a consultation? What should I look for in a consultation? Well, that's where Saul is here breaking it down. I am the man himself, Attorney Solomon Gilliam. I'm here from Gilliam Law, and I want to meet my subscribers. I want to meet my community where you're at. And I know sometimes you're just driving around and maybe you're running errands, or you could actually be multitasking. Hopefully, you're not actually on the freeway. Pulled over, you could be in your car waiting for somebody, but a lot of people are doing a lot of things at one time. I know you could be somewhere tossing and turning, looking for some answers. You jump on your YouTube feed. Well, that's why we're not worried about the hour, not worried about what I'm wearing right now. This is how you're going to get to know me. This is how you're going to become more connected with me. I'm human. Does your lawyer seem human? What better way to find out how you can work together than by getting a good old fashioned consultation? Now, I want to unpack more deeply what the type of consultation you would expect to have from me, myself, and I. When you contact Gilliam Law and you reach out, we're going to give you, first of all, modern options to set up your consultation. You can set up a consult with Gilliam Law, or you can help a friend find me and set up a consultation directly with me. I'll give you a bilingual consultation. Soy bilingüe, hablo español, hablamos español, se habla español aquí en mi oficina. But other than that, we give you a link for you to actually open it up and make the consultation work for what's good for you. You'll look at the calendar, you'll see what's available. We're going to offer you a phone consultation. We're going to offer you a Zoom consultation. We're going to even offer you an in person consultation. Now, I think it's exciting that you don't have to any longer come into a law firm and sit down and meet face to face. Although I'm happy to receive you, I am old school and I do love to meet people face to face. So, what does that mean? You come into my office and we are going to offer you a water, a tea, a coffee, perhaps a snack. And when you come see me face to face, it's just going to be a more relaxed setting. You're going to be in almost like your living room. I mean, take a look. You got around me, just it's a relaxed setting. You can either sit on the couch, have a seat on the chair. But the main thing is you're going to notice once you choose your consultation method and you set that down, my staff is well trained. They're going to be asking you directly for paperwork, documentation, evidence. It could be something as simple as a paperwork you receive from immigration. It could be a notice that you receive from the court. It could also be forms that you've already prepared or someone has prepared on your behalf. Heck, maybe you were working with an attorney and you got a copy of that lawyer's file before you come find me. The point being is this is number one. What is going to define a next level consultation? Next level consultation with Gilliam Law is definitely the fact that we're going to be unpacking all bits and pieces of your paperwork. So one thing we don't do is discriminate on your paperwork. We're not going to say, oh no, there's a 20-page document limit here. Attorney Gilliam's not going to look at the 21st page. To the contrary, I'm going to look at every last page that I can within reason, right? And that's why us lawyers are good at reading and flipping through documents and pages because we know what we're looking for. We tend to slow down when it's something that we're looking for. And we tend to speed it up whenever we see it's obviously something that's not relevant, not important for us to consider. That's a beauty of a next level consultation. You don't have to wonder, just come as you are, as they say, right? Give me what you have. All we're asking is that you give us a proper scan. Where possible, we want a good scan, clean copy for my review. It's going to help speed up the consultation as well. But by all means, our staff is well trained. You're going to get on a phone, most likely with one of two different staff members, although it could be more. You're going to be looking to ask for Mr. Branton Morataya. Oftentimes, you might actually get someone else. It could be assistant, a legal assistant, paralegal. Could be Mireya Dubon. But the point here is we have a robust team that I have in place to onboard you for your next level consultation. So if you've already had an immigration consultation with an attorney, We want you to know what the difference is in case you did not recognize a next level consultation. If you, for example, did not get any paperwork reviewed or discussed with your lawyer, that could be a red flag that you did not get the next level consultation that you may deserve as well. I think the next thing that I want to make clear when it comes to a next level consultation with your immigration lawyer is the fact that you should feel like you're in a safe space. I'm not going to belabor the point, but it does make sense that you should feel like you're in a place where you can be vulnerable, where you're not being judged, where you're going to be accepted under the terms and conditions that you're dealing with. And so we're going to let you know right off top, and you should feel that type of energy when you're consulting. You're looking for that next level consultation. Look no further, because you are going to be in a safe space and you're going to be able to tell your story, which brings about my third point. In the next level consultation, you should feel that you have been given an opportunity to speak. You should feel that you have um, a platform, right? You shouldn't be told when to talk, when to shut up, or just be abruptly cut off. We're all people. We're all here living the human experience. And so I think part of that, what I'm touching on, is just the bedside manner. You're going to feel the bedside manner during the initial consultation with me. I think a lot of lawyers, this is something we're not taught in law school, any type of real bedside manner, and it sort of just comes as you go. And unfortunately, nowadays, there's just some attorneys that become so, I guess, successful or wealthy. I don't know what it is, but they're at the point where they're really not concerned at all with their bedside manner. Here at Gilliam Law, part of the next level consultation, part of the experience itself is that you are going to be welcomed and well received, and that comes from a place of humility. Really, um, we're always going to be remain grateful, no matter how big and successful we become. No matter how big and successful I become, I will remain grounded, and I will humbled by the fact that you sought out my attention, my advice, and this is something we've earned based on years of hard work, years of labor working in the salt mines out here. That's how we're able to yield the results. Is really just one case, one step, one round at a time. So I really want to can't really harp enough on the fact that you're going to be tended to, you're going to be cared for when you connect with Gilliam Law. I want to know not just who you are, but I want to know your experience and your story, which is once I jive your fact pattern and once I jive your personal experience, the situation that you find yourself in, I can connect that with the paperwork, connect that with other forms of evidence and information that you're able to provide. And I think part of that next level consultation experience is for you not to feel rushed, for you not to feel like you are um, sort of looking at an hourglass, and once that last grain of sand falls through, um, your time's up. So you'll notice there's some flexibility, and then my staff remains closely in communication with you. So if one consultation bleeds a little longer than it was expected, we're going to notify you. We're going to give you a courtesy. We're not expecting you to just wait on pins and needles. Hopefully, we'll get to you. So we definitely look to take care of people, and that's definitely something that you're going to notice on your next level consultation experience. Um, the nurturing, just the time that we're going to take, that we're going to put back into you, and this is why we charge a fee, not just to create the attorney-client privilege. Realize that when you're getting a free consultation, there's essentially no incentive for the attorney to take your personal situation, your personal details, and give you directly um, impactful legal advice. That's just not really possible because you have not created the attorney-client privilege um, through a free consultation. That's why we um, somewhat jokingly, but somewhat seriously, we say that, hey, get ready for the fishing expedition, because that's what the attorney is going to do, is going to be sifting through a lot of your information as quickly as possible, um, in order to just make a quick judgment call. And you may feel like you just really did not consult, and that's okay if you've experienced that. Um, you could look at it from a positive light. Maybe you could take some bits and pieces from that consultation and realize that there is um, perhaps you have much more personal interest in getting the actual attorney client privilege, so that someone can take your particular situation into account and see how the law affects and impacts your situation. I think that's what people crave, even if they don't know it. And that's part of this educational process. That's why I'm happy to meet with people where they're at, happy to put on educational seminars. I'm happy to give game. I'm happy to give details. When I say give game, I'm not just necessarily trying to pique your curiosity and up, gotta gotta book a consult. No, it's really, we're creating a sense of community, because I realize now that this is the new way of actually practicing. It just happens that we are at the cutting edge of practice by offering Zoom consultations, phone consultations, as well as the old-fashioned in-person consultation. Now, when we're talking, what is that next level consultation, that experience that I'm going to offer you? I think the last point to really consider, it's, get a quick recap. Paid consultation is also going to really set us apart from the competition or other colleagues, even though colleagues that are doing great work. A lot of attorneys are not willing to review a stitch of paperwork with you, and that's for their own reasons. They have choices to make as practitioners and business people, just as I do. But I'm proud to state that my team that's in place is going to onboard you for your consultation, and they're going to prepare you by collecting as much documentation as they can. Once your documents are collected, then they should be reviewed by myself. Oftentimes I'll get to them before, but for sure we're going to look at the paperwork during your consultation, and I'm going to talk to you, and I'm going to give you a chance, an opportunity to tell your story, because it's more than just a consultation. I'm actually getting to know my community, and I'm getting to know take a pulse on situations at large. And the only way to stay on top of what's happening, especially in today's challenging political climate, is to really meet you as individuals and get to know you and your personal situation. And we're going to be goal oriented in this consultation. In other words, I'm not just going to listen to your story and let you get some cathartism and some cathartic moments of being able to get your stuff off your chest, but it's going to go deeper into that. I'm going to give you different scenarios. I'm going to give you different possible strategies. I'm going to ask you questions so that we can take a pulse together. And my goal really is to sort of take a holistic approach. I mean, forgive me, some attorneys would get mad if I say this, but at the end of the day, any good lawyer is similar to a mechanic, right? A good mechanic is going to pull you into the shop. Once your car's in the bay, they're going to have you turn off the engine, right? And go have a seat. But the goal, either way, is to give you a holistic approach to maintaining your vehicle. It's not just about repair, right? You want that longevity. And so here we are as practitioners, even of the law. At the end of the day, I want to give you that opportunity to maintain your entire situation. It's not just about, oh, I have a problem, I had to contact the attorney. No, we're really giving you solutions to maintain your lifestyle, to maintain um, your connections, your opportunities, especially your familiar relationships, family relationships, are what really make our community as a whole. And really, no matter what they say, we're all here as immigrants. We all are here. in these United States as immigrants. And so we're going to give you that dignity, that personal touch, which is going to really make you feel like you walked away in a much better place. Um, that is really the definition of the next level consultation you're going to experience. We're going to take you, we're going to take your family, we're going to take your work, we're going to take the members of your community, your church, your religious organization, your place of worship, your masjid, uh, your your temple. So we say come as you are, and we mean it. There's an issue of a language barrier. We'll get that resolved as well. We have foreign language interpreters, foreign language interpretation service at our fingertips. I give consultations in typically English, Spanish, but we've actively used our foreign language interpretation service, especially for different forms of French. We have Creole, we have actual French spoken in Africa, which is different than French spoken in the country of France. So, um, Arabic. We've worked with several different foreign languages, so keep that in mind. We'll connect with you. We'll meet you where you're at, which again is all part of the next level consultation, the experience that you want to come to live for. I challenge people quite often to get a consultation, get a next level initial consultation with me at Gilliam Law, and then go compare my consultation that you received, a comprehensive consultation that you're going to get with another firm. And hands down, it's overwhelming. The clients that don't uh, even want to consult with another law firm, but those that do, I gave it a 90% that come back around. Now, I know some folks are saying, well, I've seen it all really. Don't get upset if your consultation lasts a good 25, 30 minutes and I've answered all your questions probably three different ways. So you had different angles of comparison and even restated and recapped all my advice as well as confirming that I was able to answer all your questions. Don't be upset if the consultation is done because you're going to say, oh, thought the consultation would go for an hour. It will, if necessary, right? If it's required, absolutely. We're going to go over an hour if we need to. But don't set that expectation because neither do I. A good next level consultation, initial consult with your lawyer, you, the takeaways are that it's going to be a paid consultation because you want to create the attorney client privilege. Number two, it's going to be with an experienced counsel, myself. I have been representing clients in removal hearings in front of courts all across the United States. And so that my experience comes hard earned. Not only that, I've gotten tremendous results over the years through our diligence, our hard work, through our continuous education, studying changes in law and policy, through the fact that I've been able to grow my team. What a blessing to have 12 strong team members, highly trained, well trained, as well as senior counsel to the law offices of Solomon Gillum. Gillum Law is well endowed and prepared to give you that next level representation after you decide you want to onboard as a client, which it all starts with that next level consultation with your attorney. We're going to differentiate ourselves, and you'll tell the difference immediately. Again, once you create that attorney client privilege, check and see how many of these attorneys out here are really trying to look at your documentation and cover the bases from top to bottom and get as much strategy developed on your case as possible within a fair amount of time. Many attorneys out here are doing great work, but you won't understand that. You won't have a lot of confidence in that. Why? Because you just weren't quite feeling the bedside manner. You weren't feeling like you were taken care of in the consultation. Forget about the snack, forget about the coffee and the water. Were you allowed to speak? I mean, I've got clients telling me, "Wow, Saul, it just feels so good to be heard." Well, this brings joy to my heart, but it also pains me to hear that there's firms out here that are offering consultations. They've never met you and you need help. And well, they didn't really take any time to look at your paperwork. They didn't take a time to find out what you're going through. They didn't give you a chance to express yourself. Didn't even really find out if you know, that you guys are communicating well. I mean, I've actually discovered issues just during the course of a small talk, getting to know my client for a short moment before we jump into the business. And right there, we're able to identify potential language barriers, any type of possible um, impairment that we may need to take into consideration or accommodate you further. Um, so this is what we want you to consider. This is why I want to educate my subscriber. I want to educate my community. We're going to be giving you these opportunities to not only get to know Gilliam Law, get to know myself. I mean, heck, if I can meet you at like what 12:06 Central Time in Chicago, just because I'm having a rough time sleeping and I can get to work, meet you in my sweats, then you know that I'm someone you can most likely connect with on a human level, and then you will actually be um, collaborated with. And so that's really important takeaway. The next level consultation is really about delivering excellent level of service, getting you um, a little bit deeper than the surface level to understand what type of help we're going to give you and what's realistic. We're not going to make false expectations. We're not going to give you false hope, right? We're not going to say anything to overly excite you or get you extremely. I guess what a lot of people do is, practitioners are actually out there doing scare tactics. um, it's unnecessary. There's a lot of pressure built into the business. So what we're going to do is we're not going to sugarcoat the situation either. We want to make it abundantly clear the gravity of all situations, but we also want to empower you. And so if you're not feeling a sense of empowerment, hit me in the comments. You know what? I want to feel empowerment, right? Because that's going to let me know you really are feeling it, and we're going to offer you something special. For those people that found me, connected with me, all this month of August, as a matter of fact, we're going to be offering something generous. The average in-person consultation is $250. The average phone consultation is $200. Well, we're going to offer you a flat $100 consultation with Attorney Gillum, with myself. Just call Saul this month of August and mention what you've once you've heard in this broadcast. Mention it, because the only way for you to get it is to call me 312-998-9575. When Mr. Branton Morataya fields your call, or any of my staff, you mention this YouTube. You mention one. In fact, put it in the comments right now. One. Because that's going to let us know you want that $100 holler, and I'm more than happy to give it to those that are here, that are listening, that are trying to become familiar and educated as to what to look for, what's going to make a next level attorney consultation, especially with an immigration lawyer. What is that difference in that next level? Does it even exist, that next level consultation? I'm so proud to tell you it does. And we have a formula. It's winning. I got a secret sauce. It's not really secret that I told you, but there's intangibles. It's about the energy, the experience. And so we welcome you with open arms. Um, and I think that that's going to wrap it up for this evening. But really, I hope you were able to get familiar with what it is that's out here. You got your free consultations, right? You got your paid consultations. We know the free consultation might be good for people that just have general questions and answers, but certainly nothing too specific, nothing personal that they're going through. And we know that the paid consultation, on the other hand, is something to be aware, ask questions. Who will you meet with? Because what I'm not agreeing with necessarily is um, paying. generous amounts of money to meet with legal assistants, to meet with legal staff. Be careful, be aware. Now, a lot of times they'll pose this as sort of an immigration case evaluation, right? Case evaluation is for them to take the time to go through maybe a detailed questionnaire with a legal assistant. May promise to go speak to the attorney and get back to you, or maybe not. Maybe they're just shooting it at the shooting off at the cuff, as we call it. Um, some people call that the old bait and switch. You got to beware, right? Because we've seen it time again where if you don't ask, they don't tell, and turns out you never meeting with an attorney and gaslight you. Oh well, it was clear we told you. Well, maybe they didn't, or maybe they never made it clear. So that's why we're just giving you some awareness. Make sure you ask those questions, and from there, once you do confirm you're going to meet with an attorney for a paid consult, clarify. Well, who am I meeting with? Is it a junior associate? Is it just a staff lawyer? Is this a lawyer connected with the firm? Believe it or not, you might be paying some service that you didn't understand was going to farm your questions and your consultation to sort of a pool of lawyers that they work with. Well, if that's the case, I mean, you could just shop and shop until you find someone like myself, someone who's going to meet you where you're at, someone who's going to give you that bedside manner and the time and the investment that you're worth and that your family is worth. And like I said, we'll take everything into consideration when you pull it in. When you pull your immigration situation into my shop, we are going to look at holistic solutions. It's not just your particularity that's bothering you, but we're going to look at what's best as a whole. And I think you're going to feel the difference in a next level consultation. We're going to feel it, and you're going to welcome it, and you're going to be glad that you took care of yourself. So I think I would like to remind you, please take advantage, comment one, and when we see that, we're gonna hit you back. Okay, in case you missed it, you want to call me at 312-998-9575 to speak to Branton or any one of my legal assistants to set you up so that you can get what the treatment that you deserve, the next level consultation. You can also reach me in the South at 615-492-1717. And that's especially in our Nashville area. So we're happy to receive you, meet you where you're at. I'd love to see some comments, give me some feedback, but don't worry. We're not just going to be up here in the wee hours of the morning um, trying to connect with you. We're really trying to meet you where you're at, when you're at it. So I want to say much love, y'all. Again, I'm the attorney Solomon Gilliam. Super blessed and excited to receive you and to serve you, to serve our communities. We are a nation of immigrants, and till something changes, I'm going to keep getting as many people status in this country as we possibly can, taking advantage of the laws as they are written and looking for any type of advantage that we can, even if it's something not typical or traditional. We'll look to identify it because we're looking at holistic approaches to solving situations, um, not just quick fixes, right? There really is no quick fix in this business. So until we meet again, stay blessed. Follow me on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube to stay informed. I'm going to be offering a webinar on preparing yourself for immigration court. We just did the English version last Thursday. Not this Thursday, but the next Thursday, we'll be giving our Spanish version. And I'm definitely looking forward to connecting with you and answering more questions directly as well. I know it's late night, so I don't expect questions necessarily right now, but anyone who has any questions, again, I'm organic like that. Shout your stuff out. um, and get up with us later. Put something in the comments. I love to engage with folks, and I hope this has been helpful. Looking forward to seeing you take advantage of that $100 consultation for August 2026. Looking at spots are still open, but I imagine they're going to fill up quickly. And so this is Monday through Saturday. Get it while it's open. The time slots tend to fill up, especially towards the end of the week and the middle of the month. So try to get yourself set down as quickly as possible. Till we meet, one.